We dedicate our lives to ensuring that everything you need to know about the world of sports is brought to you here on Game Plan, on Joy 99.7 FM, and also on Haze 103.9 FM. And guess what? It is day 7 of the Olympic Games. Ghana had a second stint in the competition as the first woman ever to secure a ticket in the women's high jump in Olympics. Rose Yeboah, she was unsuccessful in her attempts to make it to the final of the women's high jump earlier today. And also imagine working for 4 years and unfortunately you will not be given an opportunity of representing your country at the higher stage. That was the story of Favour Ofili earlier this week as she took to social media and expressed her frustration at the Nigeria Athletics Federation and the Nigerian Olympic Committee's decision not to include her in the women's 100 meters. And on Thursday, we saw the stories where Italy's Carini was given a punch she described as a punch she's never ever experienced in her entire life. She said she decided to not to fight again after 46 seconds in her contest against Imani Khalif because she wanted to save her life. We've got these and many more here on Game Plan. I am Muftau Nabila Abla and I'm sitting in for your host, Fentio Tahir Fentio, who is currently in the city of love, enjoying and having fun. Daniel Crampton is in studio. We'll be joined by Sichof Ashrim and we'll also be having a very special conversation because, as you know, every single month of August, Adansi Travels, they make sure that they bring us something quite exciting. And each year, they've been able to do this successfully. So we want to understand what sort of packages that they've got for you and I this year if we want to travel. This year is Adansi Travels 11 years, and they have done it once again. They have some exciting travel packages that you cannot miss out on. To tell us more about it, we have on the line the marketing manager of Adansi Travels, Bernard Edisi. Bernard, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. Very good afternoon to you and your listeners.
Thank you. Thank you for being a part of the family. Bernard, tell us, what are some of the travel packages that you've got in store for us this year?
Well, as you rightly mentioned, each year at Adansi Travels, we curate exciting travel packages that cater to a variety of interests and preferences. And this year is no exception. So if you are listening to me, whatever your travel vibe, we at Adansi Travel are offering trips to some of the most sought-after destinations. You can talk of Dubai, you can talk of Abu Dhabi, Doha, you can talk of Cape Town, Singapore, Bali, and Malaysia, among others. So this August, it promises to be nothing short of exciting because we at Adansi Travels have carefully designed the packages to provide a blend of relaxation. If you're looking for adventure, if you're looking for cultural experiences, then certainly this August you need to travel with Adansi Travels and enjoy a memorable experience, and that is a guarantee.
Everyone wants to enjoy, and what you're telling us is quite exciting, Bernard.
Yes, it is. It is. We always ensure that your trip with Adansi is an unforgettable experience. So it's not just the travel, but to be able to enjoy the experience. We focus on the accommodation, we focus on the transportation, we focus on all the attractions. So you can actually travel on a vacation and enjoy the true sense of what a vacation is supposed to be with Adansi Travel.
Bernard, if my memory serves me right, I've seen artists like Kwame Eugene, I've seen artists like Saminin headline your anniversary trips to Dubai. Who should your patrons look forward to this year?
You're right. That has been our tradition over the years. And this year we are thrilled to continue with that tradition of we always want to feature a Ghanaian artist to headline our anniversary trips. And so our patrons on our Dubai trip this year can look forward to an incredible performance by, guess who? None other than the Fiekuma hitmaker Kofi Kenyatta.
Oh, wow!
Exactly. So on the 17th and then on the 20th of August, if you are on this trip with us to Dubai, we're going to have an exclusive yacht cruise party. Now, just imagine a 3-hour cruise at night on the Dubai Marina. Just imagine that. Enjoying breathtaking views of the skylines of Dubai, and then you get to enjoy back-to-back performances from Kofi Kenyatta. How does that sound?
Oh, that's quite special. And who would want to miss that?
Definitely, you wouldn't want to miss that. And then to top it all, on the 19th of August, you can also enjoy his performances right in the heart of the Dubai desert. So 3 performances in Dubai if you're traveling with Adansi Travels this August.
Oh, wow. Daniel Cranton, you go buy ticket. Quick! Sicho.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, he just says, Sicho is just also even saying that he needs to get a ticket quick.
Count me in.
The gentlemen are already counted in. But Bernard, let's just about to say something, Bernard.
Yes, I mean, you know that Kofi Kenyatta just released his EP, Kofi O Kofi.
Yes.
So all the songs on it, he's going to perform those songs, coupled with a lot of the other hit songs that he has, over the years. So it promises to be nothing short of exciting.
It promises to be nothing short of exciting. But just before I let you go, what exclusive experiences should I be looking forward to? You've spoken about how being with Kofi Kenyatta and enjoying the Dubai experience, everything about Dubai. Because sometimes some of the experiences people often look forward to are those things that they believe is once in a lifetime experience. So what should wow me to be part of this, apart from the Kofi Kenyatta experience?
Exactly. As I mentioned earlier, our anniversary packages are not only to Dubai, so we have packages to Singapore. So we call it a triple delight, Singapore, Bali, Malaysia. You actually get to enjoy a cruise on a cruise ship as part of that package. Oh. At Adansi Travels, we go beyond just the typical travel itinerary. So there are some tours, aside what we have in our inclusions, that are described as optional tours, because we know that each individual also have, different preferences. So even if you book the package, the other experiences that you can be able to choose from so that you can enjoy those experiences yourself, aside the ones that you will enjoy as part of our package. And as I mentioned, if you are in Dubai, the yacht cruise will certainly be an exclusive experience for you. It's going to be an intimate night, so you wouldn't have a lot of people on the cruise, but it's just between you and Kofi Kenyatta, and you can get to enjoy the interactions. If you are on our Cape Town trip, we've included a wine tasting tour in the renowned winelands. You can enjoy a cable car ride up the Table Mountain.
Okay.
And a visit to the Robben Islands as well. So aside these packages, you can enjoy the optional tours that are carefully created for you as well.
Just a couple of minutes gone by, you spoke about booking. So if I'm interested, how do I book? How do I become a part of this special package that Adansi is putting together? And what are some discounts and promos you are putting together for this?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So yes, we have a few days to go to kickstart our anniversary. So we are running a last boarding call promo. So it's a last boarding call promo. Time no day.
Time no day. The time finished. You have to rush in. You have to come as soon as possible.
Exactly. So if you are listening to me right now, here's your final chance to join us on what promises to be an exciting journey. If you book any of our Dubai-only packages, we also have Kigali, Dubai. We have Cape Town packages from today till next week, Friday. We're giving you an opportunity. If you book any of these packages, we'll give you the opportunity to shop for free when you travel, the equivalent of $100.
Oh, the shopping, better when you travel, put me in your handbag. I want to shop.
I'll repeat that again. So if you buy any of the packages, free shopping to the tune of the equivalent of $100 in whatever destination that you are.
Just put me in your handbag. I want to shop. You cannot have this package available and not want to be part of Adansi Travels.
Definitely. So all you have to do is just to book by calling this number 0531 053-001-00550.
Please take the number again.
053-1-008-550 or 059-55-00817.
Wow.
Alternatively, you can visit our website, www.adancitravels.com, or you can walk into any of our offices, one at Okonglo, the other one at American House, East Legon, to secure your spot.
Wow, you can't afford to miss out on these special packages. Who wouldn't want to be with Kofi Kinata? Who wouldn't want to have an opportunity of shopping after traveling with Adansi Travels? Wow, Bernard, this is exciting. What are some of the final words that you would want to our listeners and potential people who want to be a part of this? What are some of the messages that you would like to share with them? Your final words, Bernard.
Thank you very much, Mr. For our cherished clients who have patronized our services over the years, we want to say a big thank you to them for their trust in us. And for those out there listening who have never experienced Adansi Travels, this August is an opportunity to be able to do so. You know, throughout the year, we run tours each month. Typically, they run for 1 week. But what you get with our anniversary packages is that we give you the same amount with more days. So what it will cost you to pay for a 7-day trip, we're giving you that same amount, but you are getting for 11 days when you book this trip with us this August. So you're getting extra value for the money that you pay. So we are waiting for you. Our last boarding call is up from now till next week, Friday. You book a package, you get $100 discount. You can use that to shop when you travel with us.
$100 discount, and you can use that to shop when you travel with Adansi Travels. Bernard, thanks very much for your time. We really, really appreciate it. And as he mentioned, if you want to be a part of the Adansi Travels special packages, this is their 11th anniversary, and Kofi Kinata is the special artist you'll be traveling with, and you will have loads of fun. The recent EP he released, which is the EP Kofi, it's one that you will enjoy every single track that he has in there if you travel with Adansi Travel. Bernard, we appreciate your time. That is Bernard, which is the marketing manager. He's a marketing manager of Adansi Travel, speaking to us here on Game Plan. Game Plan is proudly brought to you by Petrosol. Every drop matters, yes, just as every penny counts. Did you know good quality fuel enhances your vehicle performance and reduces maintenance cost? Take no risk. In times like this, all you need is value for your money. Look no further. Drive to the next Petrosol fuel station. Yes, Petrosol for your clean, accurate quantity fuel suitable for new technology vehicle. Be a happy customer, fill with smiles, drive more miles, and save more money. Petrosol, your clean quality fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. And also Chopbox Technologies. Chopbox Technologies, they revolutionize student life by delivering textbooks, provisions, and birthday packages straight to campus, saving time and hassle. With easy ordering via website, apps, or phone, students can focus on what matters to them. Chopbox Plus extends convenience, offering wholesale delivery to homes or businesses. It is not just a platform, it is a lifeline for busy students, professionals, and families in Ghana. Experience the convenience, so call 030-223-9134 or 053-047-4694 or visit www.chopboxonline.com and download the Chopbox Online apps. Just stay with us. We'll be back after this break.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a Petrosol station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
Joy 99.7 FM.
And this is Game Plan. I am Muftau Nabila Abdullah. We are on Joy 99.7 FM and also on His 103.9 FM. But the guys are in studio. Sichofe, Ashrim, Philip, the man in dark glasses. Okay. Daniel Cranton, what are you looking at? And Sue, and no be Ronaldo, no be Ronaldo way they
It's not Sue. It's not Sue.
What is that? What is Sue?
It's the greatest football celebration in the history of. It's
so
the greatest
no,
celebration in the history
is
of
it
sports.
Sue or Sue?
Sue.
Sue.
There's a problem with your tongue. There's a problem with your tongue.
You dey eat plenty of okra, isn't it?
Yeah. You know the chop okra.
It be your wife where they do am or who they
Okra,
do?
they talk like
From
say,
my mother to my wife.
So your own.
Since.
So when you move from your mother to your wife, is it like graduating from primary to university? Or?
It's all beautiful. I've enjoyed a beautiful life.
Daddy K. We saw Rosie Eboa this morning. In fact, with a personal best of 1.97 meters, and prior to that, she had done 1.94 when she went to the Ware University Games, and she had done 1.90. But early this morning, unfortunately, she was unsuccessful in her attempt to clear 1.92, and which means that she couldn't qualify to the final of the women's high jump. Did it come to you as a surprise?
Not necessarily a surprise because first of all, before I start the submission, no, I have to say it because it actually really made me laugh. So
Who?
I was at home watching it, and then I'm talking to the listeners. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the listeners. So I'm at home watching it, but you see the feed because there are so many events happening. So they will show what is on the track, then they will come and play a small playback.
Yeah.
So I was watching, but also following the live updates on the Olympic site to see the regular score update. So when she missed the final jump, and the Olympic site it's like an automatic positioning based on count back.
Yes.
So in her group, she was 14th at the time. But once she was out, it meant that there was no way she could have finished above 14th in her group. So then I put in the group and I told the guys that Charlie, be like, Rose is out, so she will not qualify. Mm-hmm. Then friend who is in Paris also said, yeah, it looks like Rose is out.
Mufta, who is seated here?
Who is sitting in Ghana said that we should wait because she could still qualify. So when I read the message, I was like, okay. Like I was waiting for the explanation. Then Mufta drops an explanation. I'm like, oh, Mufti, your explanation says they are going to pick the top 12 from the two groups combined.
Okay.
Yes.
If somebody is 14th in the one group, how does the person make it?
So hang on. Right. Per the explanation I offered, which was that you would recall that the jumps were still ongoing.
Yeah.
Right. And as at the time the jumps were still ongoing, many of the athletes were all struggling to do the 1.92.
Yeah.
Apart from Yuslava, or that Ukrainian woman who jumped 2.10 just a few months ago, she was the only guaranteed athlete who was true, right? If you go to the second group, where the list of athletes there were 9, right? So I was like, okay, considering the numbers required to be able to progress to the final of the competition.
Yeah.
You see? So if you need 12 best athletes to be able to qualify. And the count back, as at the time you mentioned, the count back the event hadn't ended yet.
Yeah, but it's an automatic count back. So they are ranking it as they are going. So,
Yes,
so you
as it
only
goes.
be in the competition if you clear the height.
Yes.
If you don't clear the height,
Yeah.
then your position is your position.
Your position is your position. Your position is your position. But what I was saying was that, and in fact, it was Karim who drew out. Me, I hadn't even seen it. Though. It was.
So it was Karim.
No, Karim drew my attention to it. No, in fact, he wrote that per the preview I published on my Joy Online.
Yeah.
I said that she could still qualify if she makes the top 12.
Yeah.
Right. If she's part of the top 12 athletes. So when they drew my attention to it, then I came on the page. That was when I came on the page. So it was after my explanation that you came and dropped the count back.
Yeah.
So I went on. In fact, I was following on the World Athletics platform.
Okay.
So when I went on the World Athletics platform, that was when I realized that her count back was 14. So I told Lawrence to publish the story as soon as possible. So we started typing the story.
But anyway, see, for me, I just felt like it was the Ghanaian in all of us.
Yeah.
Hoping
You
against
go
hope.
everywhere
Yeah.
you go take a calculator go.
Hoping against hope
Calculator is-
that
No. It's
some miracle will happen. But
it's not about a miracle, but because we all had personally, I had a certain level of hope that 1.92 was a high she could clear.
That's true.
And from where I sit, I personally even thought that
Why did you think she could clear that height?
because she's done it like 3 times already. So
But she's
and in
going
fact,
into the games with limitations.
she's going into the games with limitations.
Yes.
Aside from the fact that she didn't have a personal coach who helped her to be
which is
crucial.
it. Like which is it.
which is crucial. If she was still at the University of Cape Coast, she did 1.94, right? And if you are an quote unquote a local athlete,
Under conditions that are not standard.
very standard. She went to the World University Games in
No, it's
in
a Cape
China.
Coast.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, clearly, yeah.
Yes.
Under conditions that were not standard and conditions
necessarily-
enough for her to even succeed. She was able to do 1.94.
No, I'm saying that under those conditions,
Yes.
we can't verify that there were world standard conditions, which makes the height she jumped, equitable to the standard at the Olympics.
You know,
So you can have an athlete running some crazy sub 10 here in Ghana on some surface, but put that same person.
what Muftar is saying it. The university games you are talking about. Last year.
No, he mentioned Cape Coast.
Yeah, she was a student of UCC
of
when she
UCC.
went for those games. Straight after that, then she went to
Okay,
US.
you're saying that
US.
when she was competing as okay. I'm
Yeah,
telling
so
you,
the
UCC.
competition wasn't in Ghana.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, perfect.
So historically,
Perfect.
in 2019, right,
Yeah.
when she went to Abidjan for the under 20 championships, she won gold. She cleared a height of 1.73.
Yeah.
Then the same 2019, she went to Rabat for the African Games. She won gold. In fact, she was the first athlete to win gold for Ghana in the championship. She did 1.79. Then she went to Mauritius in 2022 for the Africa Seniors Athletics Championship. Then she did another height of 1.83, 1.84, if my memory serves me right. Then just few months ago in the African Games, this girl did 1.87. And even prior to that, she had done 1.94 in China
In August.
Yeah.
in August last year. That was, in fact, that jump qualified her for the World Athletics Championships in Budapest.
Yeah.
But because of some issues at the background and what, she didn't go to the World Champs.
Missed
So
opportunity.
if you look at the trajectory of Rose Yeboah, 1.92 is actually a height. You are very certain that this girl has got what it takes to clear. And that is why I was personally hopeful that she would be able to do it. And like Danny mentioned, maybe the Ghanaianness in me.
No, but to be fair, okay, let's go to Fent. Let's go. It looks like Fent is ready for us.
Fenty.
So,
Yo,
Tyru, the way you are looking, what's up?
what's up? You know Chop?
You don't look happy.
Rose Bra is not happy. Why should I be happy?
Fent, you watched her at close range. Tell us, what were some of the things that you saw we did not see on television?
Well, I think you didn't see a lot on television. I saw a lot of people complaining that they were seeing something different on the screen at different times. Some of the times she was jumping, if she wasn't on the screen, there were other events that were happening simultaneously. And I think it's probably one of the biggest issues with track and field, right? When they're doing so many events at the same time, some of the events are marginalized and they don't get a lot of airtime. The high jump was one of those events that didn't get a lot of airtime. And so I'm sure there were some of Rose's jumps that you guys didn't get to see.
True.
And she did a lot of jumps because even the first one at 1.83, it took her 2 attempts to clear. The third one at 1.88, it took her 3 attempts to clear, and then 3 more attempts at 1.92. So she jumped a lot, Rose, today. And, it was very nervy. In fact, while you expected her to go through, I was very scared that she was not even going to make it past 1.88. I was very, very impressed that she was able to clear that particular height. And she did it on the third try. The first 2 attempts were both unsuccessful. I think when you look at the factors for why Rose performed the way she performed at this championship, nobody should be surprised. I think historically, this has always been the issue. Ghana Athletics, you, myself, Daniel, we've spoken about this issue for the longest time. And the issue remains one. Is the gap between the NCAA championship and the major competition. You look at what the rest of her colleagues were doing. You saw Lamara Destin today from Jamaica. She is Deborah Aqua's very good friend, very good roommate at Texas A&M. She does high jump. She was competing at the Diamond League competition in Monaco while Rose was training in Cape Coast. And Rose, is the NCAA champion. That's the difference. Now, the problem, because ask yourself this question, how did an athlete go from 1.97 on June 18 to not be able to clear 1.92 on August 1? How does that happen? In an Olympic year, when she is supposed to have been training and getting better and better up to the competition. How did it happen that in 2021, Azamati breaks the Ghanaian record, 9.90 seconds, goes to the Olympic Games, can't do a sub 10 seconds, and doesn't make it to the semi-finals? How is that possible? The reason is one, and we've spoken about this many times, that when the athletes finish the collegiate competition, thankfully, there are some people who are investing in our athletes, and these are the universities. So when they invest in our athletes throughout the school year and they finish the collegiate competition in June with major championships always in July and August, what do? What value do we add to them? Take Rose, for example. We added absolutely zero value to Rose from that 1.97. And that's why Sicho was asking the question, Muftar, why did you expect her to do better? Not simply because she did it in the past. The question he's asking is, what kind of investment did we do in her from that 1.97 on June 18 up to this point? I'll tell you what kind of investment we did. We did 2 weeks in Cape Coast, training with her local coach that possibly had absolutely no idea, no disrespect to the mechanics and the techniques that a coach at the University of Illinois was using. We took her to the African Championship. She won gold, but everybody remembers the conditions at that competition. It was absolutely
terrible,
shambolic. Thank you. And this is the quality of preparation we gave Rose. We brought her to Strasbourg for 10 days of competition. Over there, Muftar, you and I know that Rose's personal coach does not require accreditation to be in Strasbourg for 10 days. And yet, we never bothered, buy him a plane ticket, take him to Strasbourg, whatever appointment he has, let him cancel it, come there and train Rose. This is the investment we need to make in Rose. How many top-level competitions did we enter her into after the NCAA championship? Zero.
Fentio, in effect, what you're saying is that there was never a deliberate plan for Team Ghana to succeed, especially when it comes to Rose Yeboah.
That is the point. And like I said, Muftar, we know that this issue didn't just only affect Rose. It has affected athletes in the past. So many times, this always happens. So I think this is what's going to happen, or this is what needs to happen. And if anybody is listening, and I know they are listening, This is what we need to do. As a country, we need to invest in our athletes. And in Rose in particular, I'll tell you this. Rose Yeboah is a generational talent in this country when it comes to the high jump. The heights that he's reaching, no other Ghanaian high jumper in our entire history has ever reached these heights. 1.97 is world championship winning heights in previous years. That is huge. That's where she's gotten to. We added absolutely no value to her, and we complained a lot. This girl should not have spent 2 weeks in Cape Coast. In fact, did you know she was the only athlete, Rose Yeboah, to fly from Ghana to Paris with the rest of the contingent? She was the only one who was here in Cape Coast training. That's not how to prepare your top athletes for a competition. She was training with a local coach, not the coach that elevated her to the new heights that we've come to know her for. So this is the mistake. And I think going forward, Rose Yeboah, for example, once she's done with school, the government needs to invest. Give her 100,000, $150,000, make it 50,000 a year, so that she can access better training facilities. She can pay a coach. She can access a better massage therapist, a better physiotherapist, a psychologist. All of these things are not free, but these things are required to get to the next level. I'll give you an example. Blessing Okogbare, the country did it for her in Nigeria. When she finished cut, they gave her $250,000.
Yeah, I remember.
She hired a coach. She hired everything. And Blessing was the reason Nigeria Athletics had Puma sponsoring them for the longest time. They got all of that money back and more by investing in Blessing Okogbare. Apart from all of the prestige and the social and the sporting capital that she brought back to the country, she also brought them financial rewards, because Puma then started to sponsor, because she was a Puma athlete, they then started to sponsor Nigerian athletes, and they started to give them more, which they then reinvested into grooming the next group of athletes and the next generation of athletes. This is what we can get if we properly invest in our athletes. We see what they do for the footballers. You give a Black Stars player for 3 matches at a World Cup 100,000. Look at this, Sicho, Daniel.
But is there even a bigger stage for a sport than the Olympic Games, that as a country we never had a deliberate plan as to how these athletes we want them to perform?
It's unbelievable. Did you know that Rashid Saminu, his coach, is here? His coach arrived 2 days ago to help him train. And the only reason his coach is here and was able to come and train Rashid is because his coach is also a national team athletics coach for the St. Kitts and Nevis. So he's accredited and he's here coaching St. Kitts and Nevis. And then our people reached out to him. Great, you are here already. Please, Rashid is here. You can come and take him through a few sessions. So he's coming there.
We want to tap for free.
Yes, it's a tapping. We call it tapping. So we've tapped in, and he is helping Rashid train individually. We'll see what effect that has on Rashid tomorrow when he takes to the track. But he only started yesterday. And the day he started was the day Rashid was so happy. A dance video came out with him doing a dance-off with Tanzania. If he doesn't qualify to the semi-final, that's meme material. but having said that, Sicho, why are you laughing?
Why are you laughing?
Why are you also laughing?
You said half already. That makes it so hard to laugh.
But having said that, I think the point that I elaborated on, Rose, we need to take it seriously. The president or whoever is listening, the sports minister, we need to invest in these athletes, because thankfully the schools are already investing a lot of money on them. We need to. How much is it? If you give Rose 100,000, you just spread it. You just even say every year we'll give you 35,000, or every year we'll give you 50,000, and invest in her for 3 years, and make sure that all of that money goes into acquiring the best coaches, the best training facilities, the best psychologists, the best therapists, physiotherapists, and let's see what we get in the next 3 years. Let's just try. Why can't we do this for once? It's an experiment. Let's just do it and see what becomes of the investment we pump into her. But this whole idea of just leaving her to be on her own, and then she shows up at the Olympic Games. I hear there's a whole delegation of people coming here. You go and see them, promise them bonuses and whole envelopes and give them per diems. That's not how you get the best performance out of the athletes. You need to invest in them pre-games. And just taking them to Strasbourg for a few days without all what is... And even that one, that was the French embassy who invested $40,000 into taking the athletes to Strasbourg for 10 days.
Wow.
That's the French embassy. As government of Ghana, Muftau, what did we do to add value to our athletes ahead of this competition?
We train them, we train them at Cape Coast. We train them at Cape Coast.
Well, honestly, that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to say that I think we missed an opportunity. Thankfully, though, she's still young. She's won so much at such an incredibly young age.
Yeah.
Imagine what else she can do if we truly invest in her from our pockets.
And in fact, as someone who has covered Rose since 2019, I covered her when she went to the Africa University Games in Egypt. I covered her when she went to Abidjan. So you see, and within 5 years, Rose Yeboah has got about 6 gold medals, continental and global competitions. That clearly tells you that if there's actually a deliberate plan as to how we want this girl to succeed, definitely she's going to succeed. We cannot afford to have another Abigail Kwarteng. Remember Abigail Kwarteng? Remember the Commonwealth Games? She told us we never invested in them and we wanted them to succeed. How are we going to get that?
And you know, for Rose in particular, you just mentioned what she's won. So Rose, guys, listen to this and let it sink in. Rose Yeboah is the best high jumper in the whole of Africa. Does that mean something? Rose Yeboah is the best high jumper among all university students in the whole of America. Let that sink in. Let this third one sink in. Rose Yeboah is the best high jumper among all university students in the whole world. She is a World University Games gold medalist. That is the level of talent Rose Yeboah is. Why are we sleeping on this?
Fent, the disappointment is quite palpable from your end, from us here in the studio. But you saw her at the mixed zone. How was she like?
Well, at the mixed zone, I this is one of the, I swear, by the time I come back to Ghana, I would be fit with 6-pack and everything. My calves would be fit. The mid zone is like 5 floors below the media tribune. So right after Rose finished competing, or right after every race, if you want an interview, you have to climb the staircase, come down, and then do another split, go up. Right now, I'm doing my own mini Olympics at this championship. I'm not even kidding. Like, my feet hurt. So bad.
So far, you have 3 packs. 3 more.
I did. The max for Banku, I've come back to chop at the hotel. Thanks to shout out to my wife. Listen, I did spot Rose. I made it just in time to meet her at the mix zone when she was walking past. She saw me, then she came over. I gave her a hug, and then I asked for a word. So obviously, I congratulated her. I told her she did well. We're proud of her. I asked for a word. I was there with Graham and Michael Oakley. She says no. And I was still holding her hand when we were talking, and she started to walk away. I tried to maybe kind of pull her back a little bit to see if she would just give in and have a word with us. She didn't utter a word. She didn't say anything. She just said no. And she just walked past. So visibly disappointed. Obviously, it's understandable. She hasn't given us any explanation of what really went out. What really went on out there. Because sometimes to get in the athlete's minds, you really need to understand what they're going through. Did she carry some injury? Was there some psychological issue? Were there some factors? Is there something that she's upset about? There's so many things that could have gone on during that competition that we couldn't see from where we are. Even from within her, she could have been battling so many different things.
And even her support system.
Yes, without her opening up, there's no way of telling exactly what has affected her at this championship, or even knowing how grateful or how much gratitude she has at the opportunity of being able to compete at the Olympic Games for the first time. So we don't have an understanding because she declined to speak to us. I'm hoping that as the days go by, she might calm down a little bit and she might be able to reflect and see that maybe the Ghanaian people deserve some sort of word from her, if you like, and maybe she'll open up and then we can truly get to understand where her mind is, especially even about the future, what she would like the country to do for her, all of those things. But today she was very, very visibly upset. You could tell that she felt like she let herself down, or maybe somebody let her down, or whatever be the case. What I can say for sure from what I witnessed is that she was very, very upset. Not sad, upset is what she was at not being able to make that final.
And that would be expected from an athlete like in the ilk of Rosie Boakins, like we all mentioned. This is a girl that you just mentioned that she is the world university champion, Africa champion. And if this success is not it's something that we are not proud about, then definitely if you have such an athlete, the athlete will always be very, very disappointed. Friends, thanks very much for joining us for this conversation. Are you running back to the stadium or you want to hang on for a while?
Yes. So the rest of the African athletes who competed in the 100 meters, I'm on fan so on.
Meva, I'll come back to you, but I need to come to the studio. And in fact, if you just joined us, this is a game plan on Joy 99.7 FM, and it is an interactive show. We are streaming on Twitter Spaces, we are streaming on the Joy News YouTube channel, and also the Joy FM Facebook handle, as well as Joy Sports. You can also join the conversation using the hashtag Game Plan. On WhatsApp, it is 055 1111997, 055 1111997. Show proudly brought to you by Petrosol. The rest of the Africans, I will come back to you briefly, but please let me hear from.
I have to go to the stadium now for the evening session. So perhaps, in the evening, I'm sure Daniel and Zicho have been watching, so they will have a lot to say about them.
Then just wrap up the African bit for us. Just wrap up the African bit for us, then you go.
Zicho in particular, look at the way he has popped up his glasses. He has a lot. See the way Zicho has popped up his glasses. I'm sure he has a lot to say about the Algerian athlete. This guy.
I think today's glasses are not dark, are they?
Imani Kelly, that's Imani Kelly's
Imani Kelly's boyfriend.
Allow baby girl to fight.
Quick. Thank you.
That's Imani Kelly's boyfriend. Is it true?
Allow baby girl to fight.
Quick.
Allow baby girl to fight. Allow baby girl. The key word is baby girl.
The only baby girl who will punch you.
Girl to fight.
The only baby girl who will punch you, and then in 46 seconds you say you're not gonna fight
Last
again.
4 years when they were punching her, nobody noticed she wasn't. She's a baby girl. Who come there?
Let me just say something really quick on that. I think when you look at what's happening with Imani Kelly, I think potentially from speaking to a lot of journalists today at the mix zone and even interacting on this subject, there is a sense that a lot of the other athletes or boxers that are in her line of fight might consider pulling out of the fight, allowing her to win a gold without fighting anybody else. And that would be
is that a
very
protest?
disappointing.
Is that a protest, kind of?
Yes, as a form of protest, exactly. So that is some sort of information that we've picked up. And if that were to happen, obviously that gold medal would mean nothing. It would absolutely take a lot away from her. But I think what is happening is a controversy between the IBA, the International Boxing Association, and obviously the IOC, who are both contradicting each other in terms of even how and what regulations in particular were used to allow her to compete. Because the IBA is insisting that they suspended her at last year's World Boxing Championships just when she got to the finals. And that's what makes no sense. She made the final, was supposed to fight in the final. Then, according to the IOC, the general secretary of the IBA took a unilateral decision to disqualify her from fighting in the final. And then the IBA board ratified that decision later, at a later meeting. Now, according to the IOC, that decision cannot be binding because it was unilateral and they used no particular rules or regulations and it didn't follow due procedure. Hence, she was discriminated against. This is what the IOC is saying.
Mm-hmm.
And so, therefore, they are doing the right thing by using regulations from Tokyo 2020, which permits her to be able to compete at these games. So, as for the IOC, like Sicho said, she's a baby girl. She's going to keep competing, and that is what it is. But we've seen this before, and Africa really needs to stand up on these matters.
Sure.
Daniel will remember, we did a whole show on the Caster Semenya issue and how they have managed to hound her out of competition. The same thing is happening with Imani Kelly, and there's a lot of double standards with regard to the way the whole situation is being handled. My personal opinion really doesn't matter in this case. What matters is following the regulations to the letter. What do the regulations say about people of high-level testosterone and their competition at this level? What do the regulations say? I think World Athletics have very strict regulations that ensures that if you have testosterone levels above a certain level, you are disqualified. And that is very scientific. So you're tested. If you're above the level, that's it. There are medicines that you can take to suppress the levels of your testosterone. If that is required for you to do, then you do it and then you do the test again. But obviously, we can't blame somebody for being born with a high level of testosterone. That's not their fault. This is not an issue of trans. She did not do a surgery to become female. She wasn't born a male either. She was born female with irregular high levels of testosterone. That is not her fault. She did not intentionally go through surgery to become trans. So those are two different things. She was born female. Now, what can happen is she can be told if there are regulations around what level of testosterone is permitted for people of her type to be able to compete in women's sport, then you have medication for that purpose. It's very clear at World Athletics. Why aren't we getting any clarity on the Imani Kelly issue? I think the IOC, IBA, they really need to come clear. Because right now, all they are doing is fighting each other. This one says, we did this. Because IBA is now saying, we made the right decision and we suspended her and she didn't appeal. So therefore, the decision is binding.
No, but
IOC said, no, only one person took the decision. The decision is not binding.
Exactly where I was coming to fence you. If it was a unilateral decision, that's quite draconian for an athlete. You needed to go through due process before you can ban her from participating. And in fact, I read the quotes of the IBA General Secretary who claimed that she had XY chromosomes.
Yes. It's not a claim. It is true. She does have higher levels of testosterone than the average female, which is a fact. But what level is permitted and what level isn't? Because she's not the first, won't be the last of that type of people that have a right to compete in sport. So then what happens? What has to happen? The problem is the regulation and its lack of clarity. This is the issue. The issue is not the people of her type. The people of her type will always be born. They will continue to be born until eternity. But what are the clear regulations and how those people can compete in sport?
So it means
what are the regulations? What are they?
It means that they will need to get the regulations, and that would be the only way that they can be very definite as to who is qualified to participate in their competitions or otherwise. Friend, thanks very much for being a part of the conversation. You can go back to the stadium and continue to enjoy the races. We can also continue to watch them on television. And always come to you so that you can keep us updated. Fentio is the editor of Joy Sports, and he's covering the Olympic Games for us in Paris. Let's hear from the IOC General Secretary, Mark Adams, who spoke earlier about their decision to allow Imani Khalif to participate in the Olympics.
This panacea, this idea that suddenly you do one test for testosterone and that sorts everything out. Not the case, I'm afraid. But each sport needs to deal with its issues. They know their sports and their disciplines the best, and you need to target and tailor, I should say, the testing and so on with that. But I think we're all agreed we're not calling for people to go back to the bad old days of sex testing, I think, which was a terrible, terrible thing to do. And I'm sure we all agree that that is not the way forward. In this situation. This involves real people, and we're talking about real people's lives here. They have competed and they continue to compete in the women's competition.
They have competed and they will continue to compete in the women's competition. That is the IOC General Secretary, Mark Adams, speaking there. Let me come to the studio to Daniel Cranton and Sicho. Sicho's girlfriend punched out another girl and she said that, I'm not going to fight again after 46 seconds. But Sicho, you heard Fentio put it to us very clear what must be done. And in fact, as he mentioned, it was a unilateral decision that was taken about 4 years ago to...
After that decision doesn't hold water, so put it aside. That decision doesn't hold water. It is not binding. It is not... You see, as Fentio said, we need clear regulations on what is acceptable, what level is not acceptable. And we also need a clear regulation on who runs the tests, for these things as well. Look, let me even start the conversation well. You see, when the issue happened, the narrative on social media was that a man. Now, this is what gets me angry. The narrative on social media was that a man, right, was fighting in the women's boxing, and under 46 seconds, the proper woman had forfeited the bout because the man had beaten her.
Blue-black.
You see, now when you put the statement, and it was reported by many people across board.
And many reputable platforms.
Yes, and many reputable individuals. Now when you lie and you put the story out there like that, what you're telling everybody is that Algeria, brought an athlete, a man, to compete in women competition, which is a lie. So when I first saw it, my mind was that then the guy or the lady is a trans, right?
You know what? Yes, I got there. You know what? When Gary wrote that thing on one of the WhatsApp group, he wrote his and later came and said, "Oh, I'm even confused."
Yeah. So when I saw the story, my mind was that the person in question, let me put it that way so I don't have to use the pronouns. The person in question was a man and has now changed all those the whole new phenomenon thing. All this in quotes thing that makes no sense to me. Right? So I was saying that, when society was changing and we're complaining about some of these things, you guys said that we should allow because human rights. Right now, a man is beating a woman, you're complaining. Based on that narrative. Then my good friend Daniel Cranton, who is a journalist, see why I told you I'm not a journalist.
You need to sleep that
No, I want people to know. You see why I told you I'm not a journalist? Because when I read from multiple credible people, in my mind, that was the narrative. But the journalist went behind the narrative. So my good friend Daniel Cranton, a journalist, proper one, the job that need to do me, I go do. He drew my attention that, bro, no. You see, that's how boys should relate.
Yeah.
You see, when a boy makes a mistake, a boy should pick a phone and call. That's how Fofana should have done to Enzo. Not to go out there and say that. So he drew my attention that, bro, no. The person in question is actually a woman, right? Who has high level testosterone. And he's fighting in her category. In fact, 4 years ago, she was at the Olympics.
Yeah.
And she was beaten.
Yeah.
Nobody complained about her because she was beaten. The person has worked hard. she's fitter.
4 years on.
4 years on, she's fitter. You can't take her blows and you are crying. No, it's not fair. You see, she has not done anything wrong. She has not cheated. She hasn't switched sex.
No.
She hasn't changed anything. She came as herself, just the way God created her. And she's beating people. You are complaining. Baby girl must fight until the rules are clear that she cannot. But even that, we might have to still then continue to drag it because, listen, you telling me that when somebody identifies as a woman, she is allowed to do what a woman does. When somebody identifies as a man, she is allowed to do what a man does. Somebody is a proper woman, but can't do what women do because her levels are high. You see, we need to now have that conversation. That is a different conversation. The reason why there are no clear cuts in this is because of the way they themselves are confusing everybody. Right? So until regulations are clear on who is able to fight in what category, who is able to fight in whether men or women, I think baby girl is she's done no wrong in fighting the bout. And for all those who want to forfeit the bout, we will still take the gold. It will count to us as me right now. I'm the biggest fan of hers. It will still count to us as it's not her fault you didn't fight. If you meet your opponent in a forfeit match, it's not anybody's fault. She will keep fighting. She will keep winning. She will beat them all, and then it's boxing. Boxing, we beat people. It's not like so. She will beat them. She will defeat them. She will go all the way and claim the gold. You see, the deliberate narrative because she's African. Let's not take it for granted. We've seen American athletes with astronomical level of testosterone compete at the Olympics before. Historically, they've won things for them. It counts as medals for them. When Caster Semenya's issue came, now they destroyed the girl.
Yeah.
This one too, because she's winning and everybody is scared. They can't say the blow she received. Nobody has punched her that way before. It's through hard work. The girl is working hard.
Yeah.
Last 4 years, her blows were soft. This 4 years on, it's hard. If anything, it should be motivational message to people that you can improve.
But CQ, from where you sit,
Yes.
is it fair,
Yeah.
right, for someone with a very high testosterone level to come against someone with a low testosterone level?
No,
Is it fair?
So this is where I also what do you mean by high and what do you mean by low? Because all of us, our levels wouldn't be the same, right? Now, if let me just use a layman's metric. If her level is 10 and 10 is not acceptable, and another lady's level is 5 and 5 is acceptable, and then the benchmark is 10, is the person who has 8 and is eligible to compete not getting an advantage over the one who has 5?
But Sicho,
So we should know which one is acceptable and which one is not. We should know. We know for sure she has high levels. It doesn't mean it is not acceptable. That is my point.
Sicho, this is a clarity I want to get, right?
Yes.
As we all saw from the IBA General Secretary,
Yes.
Imani has X and Y chromosomes.
It's a simple explanation.
We know women have XX.
It's a simple
the basic science we were all taught. Men have XY. So if you have XY chromosomes, that gives you an unfair advantage.
Sir,
Isn't it a fair?
Sir, can I come in now?
Sicho,
Okay.
pass the ball to him.
Thank you very much.
True pass.
Make I use your thing.
Quick.
Thank you very much for the question.
Easy.
Muftar, you see, for me, you see, this job gives you some certain instincts, okay? When I opened social media and I was seeing the stories, and it started trending like in a flash. Everybody was posting it around.
In a flash, yeah.
And for me, I read it. My initial response was, oh, but like, seriously. Then I started thinking, I was like, wait. In the current climate we are in the world, then he would have known that there was a transgender athlete going to the Olympics before this story broke.
True. Sure.
I would have known.
Yeah.
It would have made news. So if it didn't make news, this is pretty surprising to me. Then I opened the video and I was watching. Then I saw the flag on Imani's chest and I saw Algeria. And I'm like, nah. Algeria, Islamic State,
It's not possible.
will send a transgender athlete. I was like, nah, this is not possible. So then I need to go and check.
Clearly, you are a journalist. You went behind the story.
Proper. Behind the narratives.
So I went to check. And I found the various reports from last year. which was making the rounds at the time. Now, there was a test before the World Championships, which she passed. Then she goes all the way
to the final.
A day before the final. And then, as you are saying, a unilateral decision that she won't participate.
That decision was quite draconian.
Because of high levels of testosterone. And that came from the Algerian, that's what the Algerian Federation were told. But then the interview that the General Secretary granted, and the quote that people are attributing to him, he said she has XY. Now, this is the case. There's a syndrome called Swyer syndrome.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it well.
Yeah.
Where it's basically it's a disorder.
Yeah.
So you are born with female genitalia. You are a female, but your chromosomal makeup has a slight disorder. So when they test you, it will come out as XY.
Yeah.
Okay. We all know that scientifically it is a fact that men are XY, women are XX.
Yes.
But that is the only exception. People with that syndrome. So people with that syndrome are considered female. Now again, with the ranges of the testosterone, if you read the report from the Castas, there is a range that the average man has. There's a range that the average woman has. Casta wasn't entering the men's range.
No.
She was just above the women's range.
Yeah.
So
Below
she's
men,
below
above
men, above women. But she's closer to the peak of women than to the least of the men. I don't know if you are
It's clear, bro.
Yes.
Too clear.
So if she's closer to the peak of women, yet further away from the least of men, she's a woman.
Clearly a woman, a powerful woman.
Who has a testosterone disorder, in quotes. I'm putting it in air quotes.
Oh, yes.
But me, I don't see it as a disorder. I see it as a God-given advantage because God doesn't make mistakes. So for Imani, she has that disorder. That is why it is convenient when she reaches a final for the General Secretary to say it is a fact that she has XY. So we are disqualifying her. Now I'm asking them, why didn't they disqualify her in the Tokyo 2020 games? They didn't. Why didn't they disqualify her from starting the World Championships in the first place?
Final.
In 2022, she won medals in the Africa Championships. Then goes to the World Championships as African champion. She passed. Started going on. Just before she reaches the final, now you clear her. Is the problem that she started winning, or the problem is you think she's a man?
But isn't it also a fair question to ask that the moment you saw that she had been entered for the event, why didn't you draw the attention of the Algeria Olympic Committee that this girl is shouldn't be part?
No,
exactly. That's also another question.
Yeah. Go through the test. If they come through the test and they don't qualify,
see,
why does she participate?
And the point is, per the IOC regulations, which you even sent the report, which had a link to the regulations, she passes. And once she passes,
she will fight.
If you can't stand her,
sit aside.
Sit aside. Now let's go to Karini.
Who had to save her life after 46 seconds.
This is not the first time Karini is failing Poto like that.
She's a crybaby.
So there's a precedent. No. You see, in these things,
Zicho, be fair to the girl. She's a crybaby, she say.
Tahiru, you see, I said Tahiru.
Then beat you for 6 seconds. You're going to go fight again. You cry, say man beat you.
Mufta. Yesterday, after I had done all my reading, I just saw that now. This is just unfair targeting of the young lady. It is very unfair. So I decided that I will stand behind my African brothers. Because I've read A, I've read B, I've read C, I've tallied it with the rules.
See the one that makes sense.
Thank you. The one that makes sense. So the Algerians, I believe them. Bro. If you support us, we'll support us. So I followed this Algerian sports channel. And they brought videos of Karini from Tokyo and Co. Karini did Onyade. It's not.
It's evidence based.
Boga. Every day then they beat them. Karini for Tokyo 2020. She was facing some Irish woman. They somebody knows she fall. They don't punch her.
Somebody
they somebody knows where she fall. And when I saw that video, I went to do extra digging. When she went out, the Italian press, the way they tear for the Italian press inside. So even her own people know that
She know the force.
this thing no onyade. That's why this, you see.
Then this was
And they enter
quite
this. No,
deliberate.
Mufta, let me just finish. They enter these competitions with world rankings. Imani is high up there. Karine no, Wasa. There's a reason why they are facing in the first round.
Yeah.
If they had finished, yeah, but bono, like they, it not be no safe, then go break in nose and ears all. Because Imani is a proper fighter.
I think
And
she came to the bout knowing that the Karine girl coming to the bout knowing that she won't win.
She won't win.
She's looking for an excuse,
An
to get some public.
No, so-
public.
Look,
So in this instance,
Why didn't she raise the protest that she wasn't going to fight because ABCD? Why?
and you see, and the interesting thing
Why?
is that when Karine is quoted, she didn't withdraw because she thought she thought the person was a man. It is those who have the agenda to get Imani out who took that agenda and are pushing it. Imani said the first blow broke her nose. And after breaking her nose, she didn't think she could continue, she couldn't breathe.
Yes.
So she stepped out. They also asked her whether you are, so is it true? Are you sure? Are you going out because you think the person is a man? She said no, she's not here to judge. That she wishes Imani all the best.
Yes.
So as for Karine, she knows that
She's not on agenda.
Onya they beat me cool. I couldn't breathe. Like Mbappe will need mask safe. Mbappe will need mask. When they blame the mask, say for the mask, they play well. You want Karine, somebody where is sound already to continue 3 minutes of boxing for them to continue to pummel her nose with blows. No, she couldn't take it anymore. The point is, don't fall for the agenda. Don't fall for the agenda. It is not fair. It is very wrong for you to take a human being who was born and created by the Most High, who is a woman, who when she was losing, nobody cared. She has started winning all of a sudden. It has become a problem. That's the same thing that happened to Caster Semenya. When she started off and she was normal, nobody said anything. As soon as Caster started breaking records, started winning world championships, then it became a problem. As for this one, who allow it to happen again, Imani should continue beating them. And because of that, I put notification on the 65 kg boxing. Women, anytime they are coming to play, I'll watch.
Quick.
And she will beat them and beat them good.
they said over
And go and win the gold. If they forfeit, she's still a gold medalist.
You
As
can't
for
take it away from
Algeria's national anthem at the Olympics,
We'll play.
We'll play it. She will beat them and beat them good.
No, you see, Mufta, that's what I was saying. And when Danny mentioned it, you see the range of the measuring of the testosterone levels, they are there. Whether you like it or not, rarely do you have people on equal levels. People are high, people are low.
Oh, that's very
so
true.
those
That's
advantages are there. My point is, where at what level is she? Is she in the men's domain? No. She's not. She's only a powerful woman on that level, and she has that disorder that he has perfectly described. My point is, we can have this conversation nicely about how maybe unfair it will be for the average woman, right? And how unfair it is for the average woman to fight against somebody who has that disorder, because clearly the person has the advantage. But that becomes that. I'll take that to the back seat when you want to create an agenda as you are creating. The question you asked about the advantages, it's a fair question, but that's not what I want to talk about, because I want to deal with the narrative. I want to deal with the agenda, and I want to deal with the unfair tagging of the lady first. When we cross that line, we can have the reasonable conversation about whether there's an advantage here or there's no advantage there.
But those people who have also raised such concerns, just like I asked a couple of minutes ago, they are raising such concerns because they believe that it is unfair for someone with a high testosterone to come up against someone who has a very low one. And from where I sit, I do not think it is wrong if I believe that you can beat this person, in as much as you are all perceived to be of the same gender.
Yes,
you have a very high testosterone, and that gives you an unfair advantage.
With that, you see, it depends on where you are going with the argument, because there are physical advantages
everywhere.
If Johnny Joe, and with Johnny Joe, I'm referring to Karim. Karim is 5'8". If Karim wants to do high jump, and God has blessed him with a very good leap, Karim will always have a limit at a point against somebody who has an equally good jump but is taller than him. That is a physical advantage, yes or no?
What about Usain Bolt? When Usain Bolt was galloping and stretching, was his height and his long limbs not a part of his advantage?
He was too
Michael
tall.
Phelps. Look at Michael Phelps' body.
His body.
Natural body is like fins. It's like he has fins when he's swimming.
All those things exist. That's why the rules give ranges. And if you fall within the range,
allow the baby
not?
girl. Allow the baby
Allow
girl.
her to fight.
Sakatu from London says that, man, anytime I watch the Olympic Games and see sports like discus throw and shot put, I go like, can't we train these macho men in Ghana to compete in these sports? Charlie, a week. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. We took like 10 athletes to these games. That's Sakatu from London. Daddy, let's go to the track where your girlfriend, Sha'Carri Richardson, started. And that last 10 meters, what was she doing? Was she
Right
playing?
now, it is our girlfriend. This morning I watched the heat with my wife. She says she understands why
You like her?
I like it.
So
Right now, it's our girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Our girlfriend. That last 10 meters, she basically slowed down, reserved energy, pushed through. But one error that actually caught my attention was about Shalisi Forbes, who placed fourth in the Jamaica championships.
Yeah.
Then when Shericka Jackson decided that she was not going to race, they brought her in. She finished second in the heats as well.
Look, Muftar, the fact of the matter is that some of us are not surprised that Sha'Carri is on top of sprints, women sprinting today. 4 years ago, we predicted it. Unfortunately, it was a childish error that left us out of the Olympics. And when I say us, because I'm in the camp of Sha'Carri Richardson.
Oh,
So she qualified. You remember she qualified in the US champs?
yeah, she did.
She was part of the team going to Tokyo. Then she tested positive for cannabis. Cannabis is we.
You go blunt small.
You go blunt small. Where they catch him. And as a result, she was dropped from the team. That was, and you see, for me, it hurt because when you looked at her age at that time, she wouldn't make such a mistake today. But they say, well, foolishness is bound in the heart of the child, and the rod of correction will drive it far, far away. It's in the Bible. So sometimes you need to be punished for some of these things. And she was rightly punished. But that experience, I was afraid in terms of the trajectory. But when she cleared the hurdle of the World Championships last year,
In Budapest.
facing Shericka
And
Shelly Ann Fraser-Price in a final, and she was in an outer lane because remember the semi-final, she almost missed that. She qualified to the final as one of the fastest losers. Yes.
She was actually waiting.
Made the final, and then she ran her personal best in the final against two of her biggest rivals. That's when I saw that this is the real deal. This season she has continued that form. 10:71 is the world leading time set by her.
Yeah.
And when you look at the closest rivals in terms of time in Alfred doesn't have that high level experience. So Shelly Ann is coming with pedigree. She's not coming with actual work. this year.
Even at 37, you wouldn't.
37,
You wouldn't
some
expect
way.
Shelly Ann to be.
So to be frank, the woman to beat is Sha'Carri. I think she'll be running against her, so she'll win. But we want to see her break because 10:65 and the trajectory that she's going in on a level, Charlie, she go fit. She's what, 22?
Yeah.
She has a lot of time to cut down that time. So for me, I'm not too worried about the women's 100. You are mentioning Forbes and Co. They should go and focus on relay. Because as for the individual 100, they themselves, they know. You see, let me tell you the honest truth. We were chatting on Wednesday and you asked me about Shericka.
Yeah.
If Shericka thought she had a genuine chance of winning gold, she would have competed in the 100.
No. What do you mean? What do you mean by
If
that?
she knew that she had a genuine chance of winning gold in the individual 100, she would have competed. She knows that she has a higher chance of winning gold in the 200, not the 100, because the 100 she has all but conceded that Sha'Carri will beat her because it has been a normal recurring theme over the past few months. So she knows she will lose. So as smart as she is, she's focusing on the 200. The thing is, all her competitors know that. As for is tomorrow night is the final.
Yeah.
As for tomorrow night, it is Sha'Carri. The rest of them are fighting for silver and bronze. So unless that spirit of Daegu in 2011, what happened to both and
Yes.
he false starts or something, unless that thing happens, Sha'Carri is Olympic champion. And when that happens, I want all those, and I've bookmarked them, I know them, all those who in 2020 were laughing. You remember the first Diamond League meeting after the 2020 Olympics? She got chopped last.
Yeah, I recall.
And they were laughing.
And
I bookmarked all those tweets.
Did you see my tweet?
I saw you are part. So all those, that's why I'm saying it here. I'm talking to you. All those who went to laugh in 2020 saying that, oh, this girl thought that
Efa.
this girl. Sunday, 9:50 p.m. In fact, by 9:50, 10 seconds flat, we are done. So by 9:51 p.m., I'm waiting for your apology. Mifta, I'm talking to you. Thank you.
I will apologize. David says that one important aspect of success in sports is having a natural advantage.
Oh, yes,
this
that
is
one, yeah.
unique to many great athletes, so people should be informed. David, thanks very much for your message. And this one also says that if anything should be motivational to anyone, that person.
That the punches can improve. Our last 4 years, the punches be light. 4 years on, in punches they break nose. Every boxer should aspire. All the baby girl boxers in Ghana should learn.
Oh, since you make a tear.
Oh no, it's a serious thing. Yeah. Yeah.
That's quite an interesting one there from Vamuto. You to pay attention.
Yeah. More blues. Baby girl.
Just by way of update, in the men's quarterfinal, Morocco, they are leading USA about 2-0. The game is 66 minutes gone. Morocco is on their way to the semi-final if they are able to keep the scoreline as it is right now. We're going to take a quick break now, and then when we come back, we'll still be talking about the Olympic Games because there have been so many interesting stuff that have happened within this week. Especially, we saw it from the South Sudan basketball team. They had a very good start, but unfortunately, when they came up against the USA, like Danny mentioned, it was not surprising that they lost 103 to 86. But to have actually manned up against the USA as they did, you need to give them thumbs up. Women's football has been quite disappointing from African perspective. Nigeria knocked out. Zambia knocked out of the competition as well. This is Game Plan on Joy 99.7 FM and also on His 103.9 FM. Game Plan is brought to you by Petrosol. Every drop matters, yes, just as every penny counts. Did you know good quality fuel enhances your vehicle performance and reduces maintenance costs? Take no risk. In times like this, all you need is value for your money. Look no further. Drive to the next Petrosol fuel station. Yes, Petrosol for your clean fuel, clean, accurate quantity fuel suitable for new technology vehicles. Be a happy customer filled with smiles. Drive more miles and save some money. And Petrosol, your clean quality fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. And Chopbox Technologies, they revolutionize student life by delivering textbooks, provisions, and per-day packages straight to campus, saving time and hassle. With easy ordering via website, apps, or phone, students can focus on what matters. Chopbox Plus extends convenience, offering wholesale delivery to your homes or businesses. It is not just a platform, it is a lifetime for busy students, professionals, and families in Ghana. Experience the convenience. Call 030-223-9134 or 053-047-4694 or visit www.chopboxonline.com and download the Chopbox Online apps. We are back right after this round of messages here on Game Plan. It's Game Plan here on Joy 99.7 FM on His 103.9 FM. I am Muftau Nabila Abla. I've been doing it with Sikyof Ashrim Philip, Daniel Cranton. Fentio was with us earlier. He spoke extensively on Rosie Boer's inability to qualify, or unsuccessful attempt, let me put it that way, to qualify to the final of the women's high jump. She's Ghana's first woman ever to qualify for the Olympic Games, according to Fentio. There was no deliberate plan as to how we wanted this young lady to succeed. Considering the success she's chalked in the last 5 years, the country should be deliberate in having our best athletes do well for us. Daniel Cranton, what message do you have for us? Who message with our?
Yeah, for do some birthday this one. Some birthday for a very sweet person. Very, very sweet person. This happy birthday to the CEO of Regisac Properties Limited, Mr. Bernard Cathy. He's a top guy. Yes, wishing you progress after progress this entire year. Have a great one. This from his sister Amanda.
It's 4 days.
It's 4 days.
Can we give Amanda a song?
Amanda get song. Amanda be dance. It's a
okay.
dance. Yeah.
Okay.
Amanda, you do.
Amanda.
Yeah, Amanda.
Yeah.
What do you do, Moga?
And there's another one. There's another one.
No,
There's another one.
That again, before it comes, me, if I had a seat, I did dance where?
Everybody.
So what are you guys trying to say?
I say, you know, Twalabam, you know the Twalabam, the dance, no. If you the tap where they do Twalabam.
Just say dance,
it is say from Joburg.
Make it stand there, go see.
But why is it that many people, when you're seated and the song, it play rent free for your head inside? It be like your body feel move, but when you stand up, then the beat they go to
there's a scientific explanation. When you are sitting there, you are moving. You see, even the people who are sitting there, it is you who think you can dance. Yeah. In your mind,
yes,
you are dance god and Ajit Ezua. In your mind, do you understand? Because you are not physically manifesting it standing up. In your mind, you think you are doing the movement.
When you stand, your legs would have to coordinate with your upper body, your hand, but when you sit, it's just your upper body moves on say and your hand can
they do like this. When I stand up, then they go this way. The beat they go that way.
You sharpers. Charlie, let me do another one. Yeah. Here's to another year of making memories, laughing and exploring. Hey! The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want.
Take two.
Here do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Look at my haters outside.
The noise I hear from outside.
Abeku, this thing you have put me in. Charlie, let me take
Karim.
Take two.
Karim, I beg, cut it.
Take two.
Here's to another year of making memories, laughing and exploring life together.
Okay.
Cheers to more beautiful things ahead, and enjoy your special day. From Eugenia Osafu to Rebecca Nkani. Wow. So happy birthday, Becky.
Explore. Is that explore?
See, language is about understanding. Language. If I say explore is the same thing.
It brings the same understanding.
Becky understood. Karim, if you don't.
In fact, why he wanted to take it again, I thought he was looking for a synonym to fix that. Gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Sijo, I want to come to you on this one. Let's talk about the women's football. Nigeria, Zambia. Nigeria's record in this competition is quite horrible. 12 games, 11 defeats.
Look, it be some way. See,
why is the kid laughing mischievously like that?
No, it be some way. It's a difficult matter. No. See, the truth is, Nigeria shot themselves in the foot, right? By not, because when you see the first two games that they played, I thought defensively they were just fine. They could defend well. They could repel the opponent. The problem they had was in attack. I thought I mentioned on one of our shows that
on Sports Zone.
Yeah, the brilliant assistant to Siola is she. I mean, we know her. She's brilliant. She's a good footballer in her day, but she's not getting any younger, so she's slowing. And when you have a team that defends as deep as Nigeria were defending in this competition, you need a certain level of space up front. But whenever they had the ball and they were looking for an out ball, assistants couldn't get on the end of it. Okoronko couldn't get on the end of it. So the two ladies who were leading the attack, didn't necessarily provide them the outlet that would get in behind the teams, because truth is the spaces were there, but they didn't have the right tools to make the most of it. So I'm not surprised Nigeria are out of the competition, but it's the manner in which they are out of the competition that is disappointing. Didn't get goals coming through and didn't win a game as well. So it doesn't look good for African football because they are a powerhouse, and that is what I've said, that we can say all we want about how and that's the thing I want Africa to pay attention to. Look, the women's football is growing and is growing fast. It doesn't mean we are growing alongside it, right? The global women's football is growing and nicely.
What are we not doing right?
Oh, plenty things.
Like
the things we're not doing right for the men, we are doing the same things for the ladies. We don't invest. We don't even have proper coaches who are specialists at women football. You see, we need to understand. That is why when anybody who says men and women are the same, I don't think the person is making any sense. Look, women's football is a different sport from men's football. Women tennis is different from men's tennis. Like, in every sport that you pick, the way the women play is very physically, mentally, emotionally. It's completely different from how the men tackle it. And the great Serena Williams said it the last time on one of her interviews, that men tennis is very different from what women do. She can't imagine competing with the men, and that's Serena Williams, the greatest of all times, saying it. Yes. So you need specialists to deal with it. Do we even have coaches who are specialists in women's football? We don't. So we use what we know from the men's game to train these ladies here in Africa. Our boys don't have facilities. How much more the women? And I say how much more because the men's game would have to grow for the women's game to grow alongside it. Because whether you like it or not, people are not paying the monies to go and watch the women's game. People are paying the monies to go and watch the men's game. So if you do the men's game well and you have a proper plan, you can set aside a quota from the windfall from the men's game to develop women's game. And every reasonable country is doing it. It's been done in the UK, it's been done in France, it's been done in the Netherlands, it's been done in Germany, right? So we need to start having a good look at it. For women's sports to grow, for women's football especially to grow, this one is not about man, woman. It's a clear fact. For it to grow, and it's a tried and tested case, for it to grow, we must make sure that the primary catchment area is taken care of. Then we can set aside quotas and deal with the women. If we can't do the men's game well, men's football well, I guarantee you it's difficult to do women's football well.
You just mentioned something quite interesting, that we have technical people who do not have an idea about what women's football is all about. And these are the very people we hand these teams to.
But in Ghana, when they come to Ghana, our ladies, they are playing on AstroTurfs. It's been proven, it's been tested that it is not healthy for professional athletes. The kind of AstroTurfs we are using here in this country, the dimensions are not even correct to play proper football. That is what they are doing. Well, how do you expect them to go to the Olympics and compete against the French ladies and then the girls? They can't. They won't compete. So it is not a surprise. Nobody should be surprised that baby girls are not doing well at the Olympics. It's not a surprise. Like, we need to try. So, it's true. And it cuts across. You see, the reason I say, look, when our boys go to the World Cup, they don't even play well. And that is where all the focus and all the money is being pumped into. Them served in the shot. How much more the girls? So we need to start having a good look at it. We need to start having a holistic view of how we perceive sports, right? Is it an extracurricular of countries, or are we going to put in deliberate efforts, find the little details, make the right decisions, and grow these sports? Or we are just going to be trying to compete and say, oh, we've been to the Olympics for this number of times. Oh, we played in that Olympics. Oh, we are young, we will grow. Look, when Fentu was speaking, I said that the good, you and Fent, you're funny me. Like, the good news is that you do talk so. The good news is that Rose is young and
but it's actually true.
Relax. In sports, we don't have young and old. If you are good, you win. There is no guarantee that in the next 4 years she'll be better. You don't know what's happened to her. You don't know if this is a peak. No, wait. We should stop that thing. They will come here and say, oh, the Black Stars team is a young team. They will grow. Stop it. If the quality,
we have been growing for 42 years.
We've been growing forever. But how many athletes have we not said that they are, when Azamati was young? We all said that Azamati is young.
Yeah.
We're saying that, oh, he's young.
Yeah.
Is he still young?
He's now 26.
He passed. We should stop that conversation. Oh, they are young. They are not young. If she's good enough to make it to the Olympics,
do everything possible for her to succeed now.
She's the best in Africa. She's the best among her colleagues in the whole of universities across the world.
What are you waiting
for? You are telling me she's young because she's 22. By the time she's 26, for the next Olympics, somebody is better. And that person is coming there and there to win from another country. Because they would have been preparing for that athlete and prepping her to win while she is hot. They won't tell us that because she's people are winning gold and they are 17, 18, 19. Rose is 22, Musu are young. You are ready to win now, today. The boys who are playing the under 23 Olympic game,
yeah.
They are playing to win. They are playing to win. So when you go to the Olympics, you go there to win, especially in the position of Rose.
Are you discounting experience here?
Look. She's the best on the continent. You are talking about experience.
Yeah.
She's the best on the. Do you know what she has to go through to become the best on the continent? You think you know more than I know. You know the number of competitions she's had to go through to win the 5 medals you were waxing lyrical about. 6 medals. That is enough experience. With proper environment, with proper deliberate attempt and proper tools, this girl is a medalist. She's a medalist at the Olympics. But you've not done the right things and you're telling me she's young. Are you saying that automatically in the next 4 years she can win because she'll be older? Look, if we had an athlete who 4 years ago we said she was young and she's coming into this Olympics and she's around 4/3, we can be confident that Rose too in the next 4 years through the same system she'll be ready. But there's no track record of that in this country.
Martha Bisa, wasn't she young?
Deborah Akpa, I don't want to hear. Young? She's not young. She's good enough to win.
And I actually agree with you in that area because her first Africa Games, she went there. She blew everyone apart and won gold. That was her first ever African game.
She was 17.
Yes.
She was actually 17.
And we're still saying, oh, she's young.
Yeah.
Oh, she's 17. Oh, the girl is, by the time she's 22. By the time the next Olympic comes around in Los Angeles, LA,
yeah,
she'll be 26. Then at that point, you tell me that, 26 is peak form. So, like the next Olympics. At 22, in games like this, high jump and things, you are good enough to win. When Usain Bolt was winning the things, how old was Usain Bolt? Today, you're talking about Shelley. How old was she when she was winning the medals at the Olympics? Jackson, how old was she?
Yeah.
Richardson, how old is she? They are winning. In sports, how old was Ronaldo, Brazilian guy, when he was winning Ballon d'Or? In sports, see, when the potential is there to win, don't postpone it with
you are young.
Look, in fact, just to buttress Citro's point, and Muftau, I'm taking it from the angle of Rose being the top NCAA champion in terms of high jump.
Yeah.
That is a big deal. When you are coming out of the US collegiate system as a champion in a specific sport, it means you are ready to take on the world. It is fact. That standard is a high standard. Remember 2017 when Christian Koma, my guy, won the NCAA 100 meters.
Yeah.
He went into the 2017 World Championship as the number 1 in US collegiate sport. Went to the final of the competition. In fact, he was the only person. He's the only person to beat Usain Bolt in 2 successive races.
Yeah.
He beat Bolt in the semi-final and they beat him in the final. Unfortunately, Gatling came from behind and won the gold. But he finished second. He finished on the podium. If America said, we'll give him 4 years. 4 years from now, where is he? 8 years from now, where is he? He didn't make the team this year.
You don't know injuries.
He didn't
you don't know
make
family issues.
He's
missed out on 2 successive Olympics.
And in fact, the world champs in Doha in 2019, where he went and actually won over there. But since then, he has disappeared.
Rose could have won this year, giving herself 3 years that she's going to start a family and come back. I don't want to plan her personal life. She can be injured. It's sports. People get injured. What do you mean she's young? She can win. Updates. Your Italian girl, Carini, she's come out to apologize to my baby girl. Khalif. So this is the quote. Said from this one from the BBC. It says that all these controversies makes me sad. Carini told Italian newspaper Gazzetta dello Sport, "I'm sorry for my opponent too. If the IOC said she can fight, I respect that decision. It wasn't something I intended to do," Carini said. "Actually, I want to apologize to her. I want to apologize to her. Her and everyone else. I was angry because my Olympic had gone up in smoke." She added, if she met Khalif again, she would embrace her. So,
but okay. If she met her again, so I understand because
they've not met since. Your nose is broken. Why are you going to see her?
Me, Tojo from Newtown says that investment in sports and maintenance is key. Why do we do anything at all and expect a better result? And this just buttresses what Sikyo was saying about how it appears that we do not have that deliberate plan.
Let me give you an example. When we went to the World Cup, Otado's World Cup team.
Yeah, 2022.
You know what we said?
They're a young team.
We've got an incredibly... And we're young.
We're rebuilding.
And we said that by the next AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire, the team set. We're there.
No be last PP.
Mozambique and Co. Bro, now, do the thing now. Do the right thing so that you can win now. Don't tell me you are young. You don't know what will happen. You don't know what will happen. Some players will lose form. Some will get injured. Some will some of them won't get team.
Anthony.
Dedicate and me.
Dedicate why? Why?
Why? It wasn't intentional. Last night I was on my bed. I saw some TikTok video and I sent it to Zijo.
I woke up. That was the first thing I saw. I was like, no, the guy be legend.
What was it about? What was it about?
It was a TikTok. So the first frame, they had Tatum, they had Anthony Edwards and Wembanyama, the French guy. Yeah. And they said basketball made them famous. Mm-hmm. Then in the second frame, they had the three goats and a certain Anthony of Man United inside. And they said they made basketball famous.
Anthony, my guy.
There was Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, and Anthony. They made basketball famous.
Yeah.
You just spoke about basketball. Let's talk about the South Sudan team in this competition. A very good outing in the opening game. Second game, unfortunately, they lost to the US.
Muftar! We need to be truthful and factual. Friendlies are very different from main competition. Friendlies are very different from main competition. Historically in Olympic basketball, we have grown to learn that don't poke the bear. Don't poke the bear. And the bear is the US basketball team. You see, America just needed that wake-up call. America's first game in the Olympics was against Serbia. Serbia are world champions in basketball.
Yeah.
And number 4 in the world. America gave them a sound beating. In fact, the star player in Serbia is Jokic. I think he played for Nuggets, Denver Nuggets. I think if the guys are listening to me, I'm wrong, correct me. But there are star boys in there. South Sudan looked on the paper in the pool. The most beatable team in that pool, Puerto Rico. They beat them. But when they were coming against the bosses, you see, I always say this thing. The US-American team, and I was telling my siblings, the US-American team is like Bayern Munich at their peak. Mm-hmm. Don't chat nonsense before the game, or they'll humble you. You understand? If you humble yourself, they'll beat you cool, like what they did to Serbia.
Yeah.
But if you talk plenty,
they'll destroy you.
2012 Nigeria, they set record with Nigeria. They set record with them.
Beat them blue-black.
Blue-black. South Sudan were doing this. They give they even like me. I thought like minimum crowd like 24 points.
Me, it was a 3-pointers for me.
And your talk,
no, but it was too easy.
No, what you see? To be frank, they played well, but there are levels in this, and I think South Sudan themselves are going into this Olympics. They have a realistic chance of qualifying. I think the game against Serbia will be a very crucial one. I don't think they'll be able to beat Serbia because the Serbian team themselves will have to beat them to be able to qualify. So that will be difficult. But history has already been made. This is one of those things that will live with us forever. The story of South Sudan and the growth of their basketball, look, it will remain with us forever. And congratulations to them in advance. Whether they beat Serbia, they don't beat Serbia, whether they qualify to the knockouts, whether they don't. I think they themselves know that they have made history. Everybody in Africa is proud of them. But don't poke the bear as for that one. Charlie, do you remember Bayern and Barca?
Yeah.
Bayern won form Hansi Flick. Then they go face Barca. Barca say we have Messi, we have this 8-2. Bayern go face Tottenham.
Yes.
At Wembley.
Half
time that will be draw. Between 80th minute and 90th minute, 7-2. Arsenal they talk plenty. They give them 5-1, 5-1, 10-2.
Yeah.
All of those matches you score 2, but they will score 6 and above. Bye.
Daddy, Papa, they now have 4-0
again. Yeah, 4-0.
Papa.
Yeah. Look, I like the Moroccan team. And the reason why I love them even more is one of my favorite players of all time, like favorite white players of all time.
Is their coach?
Tariq Sekou. Tariq Sekou was playing for one of the best FC Porto teams ever. He was on the one wing and Ricardo Quaresma was on the other wing. Mm-hmm. Lisandro Lopez would strike, Lucho Gonzalez would control things. That team was a romantic team.
Romantic.
Yeah, and every time the Portuguese league, they will play late in the evening. You watch finish and you go bed. It was sweet. So I'm wishing Tariq Sekou well. And now I feel old because a lot of the players I used to watch when I was young, they are all coaches. Pep Guardiola is coaching. Zidane has come to coach. Lampard. Steven Gerrard.
Oli.
Next season, I'm going to watch Vincent Kompany and Alonso battle Bundesliga. Arteta right now is trying to win Premier League. Thierry Henry. As for Maresca, I don't know him.
Even Van Nistelrooy is
assistant coach. So I'm growing small. So yeah, I wish Morocco. And the side of the draw that they will avoid Egypt. So I also wish Egypt will, so that we can have Morocco-Egypt
final.
Where they're off.
A Morocco-Egypt final.
Yeah. They're on
but that would be quite a special final.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah.
So I'm wishing them well. Because after this game, Morocco now have to. It's either Spain or Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, the team that wins in that game is going to meet Morocco. Yes, and then between Argentina and France, the hosts, who face Egypt or their opponents. Egypt are playing. Let me have a quick look.
Just as you search for the message.
Paraguay. Paraguay.
Okay, then they have a chance. Yeah. They have a chance on the paper. Let's go on the pitch and let them deliver the goods. And Hamza says that Africa, that is Ghana to be precise, don't value female games. I don't know. We don't value female games.
The male game stuff, we don't know how to do it. It's not like, no, truth is, it's not like we don't value it too. We don't know how to do it.
And they
are two different things.
And that is actually the problem. Yes. This has been Game Plan with me, Muftau Nabila Abla. Show probably brought to you by Petrosol. Every drop matters, yes. As every penny counts. And Chopbox Technologies, they make it easy for you, whatever you want to buy. We're doing this.
I beg you. This one is somebody's relationship on the line. If I don't do it, Charlie, I want to sit. Happy birthday to a special person who is bringing me so much joy in my heart. I'm thankful for every moment we spend together, and I wish our happiness never ends. From Daniel Bonda to Abigail Bucci.
Hey, Abigail.
Yeah. Okay. So, relationship matters.
Daniel is
that one, yeah, overdo. Thanks very much for being a part of the show. Sitio, Daniel Cranton, Fentio joined us earlier for this special edition. We'll be here again next week, Friday. Thanks very much. Go on myjoyonline.com and follow every single update we've got on the Olympic Games.
Issue. Botswana is encouraging private investment into the police service. Will it encourage closer ties to the community or enable corruption?
It is okay when you adopt a school, but